Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue my Alaska cruise scrapbook and I'm going to create a layout from our next stop, which was a Canadian port called Prince Rupert. So I'm going to use papers from Nature Walk and I'm just looking through all the various patterns, and I think I'm going to use this one. And because of the pattern on this, I think it's going to do most of the work for me, which is awesome. So these are the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook. They are of the port and my husband and I, and of the ship. So this port did not have a lot of activities. We should have booked an excursion, but we walked around for a little bit and then went back on the ship. So this is an older die set called Gathering Moments, and I wanted to work in the Canadian maple leaf into my layout. And then I also pulled this other die. It's a maple leaf die from Close to My Heart. So I've die cut several of these images in using wood grain wonders. So I've got a variety of colors here. And rather than going with the Canadian red, I went ahead and went with the earth tones to match my pictures. So I'm going to keep this in blues and the earth tones to work with that background paper. So I've got several of these maple leaves tucked in, and I'll work some more in later on, but that's a start. And this is another older, really old, Close to My Heart product. They are the travel journal spots. And I've just pulled a few of these in these neutral colors. And there are just some tags and other decorated die cuts that they're punch outs from that sheet that have a travel theme. So just deciding which ones I like. And I think that is going to be the general layout. So I've cut some mats. This smaller one was already printed with a border, and then I've double matted everything else, first with white and then with Secret Sea. So I've got a white and Secret Sea border around all of my pictures. Make them pop a little bit more from the page. And then we'll gather these maple leaves around. Okay, we're going to keep this one pretty clean. All right, so for my title, I've got another older Close to My Heart product. These are the Color Ready Alphabet. They are white stickers, and you can ink them up in any color that you want, or you can leave them white. So I've got my sticky mat here. It's an Altenew grip mat, and I'm going to lay my stickers on it. I've cut them from the carrier sheet, and I'm just going to stick them down on the grip mat here and get them ready to ink. So I've got a few letters that are together and then apart, and we'll just get it down there so they don't wander around while I'm inking them. And this is Blueberry Bushel, and I'm just going to ink all around. I'm not doing a real precise inking. I want it to be a little bit weathered looking. So we'll just add a little bit of color there. And you could do this technique with white cardstock and die cut letters. If you don't have the precise color cardstock that you need, you can always die cut them in white and then use the ink color that you like to create a colored title that matches. Okay, so I'm bringing out these journal spots again and just looking to see if there's another one that I want to use. Some of these are like train tickets and just various travel icons. So just looking what I have to choose from, and then off camera, I pulled a smaller one that I could journal the location on. So still thinking about it. So maybe I'll use this one, maybe not, we'll see. Okay, so now I'm deciding where I want my title to be. I think that first spot that I put it, that's where I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay these out on this tag before I start sticking them down. I just want to make sure that I'm gonna have enough space to put the word Canada down. So get all these letters out. I think it's gonna work. So I just have some reverse tweezers here to make the work a little bit easier. And then we'll place our letters down. So I won't make you watch the whole process, but we'll get a couple letters down and then we'll skip ahead. So just adding these stickers. Not a lot to talk about with this port. It was a beautiful port, but I believe it was right after the housing crash, and so a lot of the businesses were closed. And sadly, I don't know how badly Canada was affected by that in '09, but yeah, we found a lot of businesses closed. So we walked around a little while, but then we decided to get back on the ship because there were more things to do on the ship. So, okay, so I have cut down this pattern paper so that I can have a half-inch border around the edges. And then this is basic beige, and I'm just inking the edges to give it more of a border with early espresso. And we'll go ahead and ink all the way around. I've sped this all the way up, and then I'll do the same process for the other side so that I have a 12 by 24 layout with a border all the way around the edges, but not in the middle, so that I can butt those two pieces up against each other in the center. Okay, so let's get everything laid out again. And I'm going to stick with that original placement of all of my photos. Usually it's the first choices of places that you put things, you always go back, or I tend to always go back to that first choice. So we'll lay everything out here, and then off camera I'll get everything glued down and secured, and then the photos I will pop them with some foam tape, just thin foam tape, but just to give it just a little bit of lift and dimension. So we'll add some of these maple leaves, and again, I think I like that placement, so we're going to go with that. So here's that little ticket that I journaled the port and the date, and we'll add that. And then I'm going to grab some linen thread. Oh, first I'm going to add a die cut. So this is this is the Bordered and Beauty dies, and I've cut that tab so that I can add just a little more journaling over on the right page. And then this one is Capturing Smiles, and I've stamped out this little camera in Secret C on basic beige and die cut that one. So I'll just add that wee camera right in the nook by the leaves. Okay, so this is the linen thread, and I'm gonna go ahead and tie a little bow so that I can finish off my tag. So we'll tie this bow and get it clipped down. I just want a small one. And then I'll add that to my tag with glue dot. Get that trimmed up. Tiny little touches, but they make a big difference. So we'll go ahead and add that right there. Okay. And then another embellishment that's part of the Nature Walk collection are the faux bronze pentagons. And they're self-adhesive, so I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of those all around. And that goes back to other layouts in this series that I've used the same embellishment. I try to stick with colors that are similar and collections that are similar when I'm doing a whole scrapbook, so that there's some cohesiveness from page to page. So I also look at the colors in my photos and what goes best, of course, but keeping that color theme and pattern theme along all of your layouts for a scrapbook, especially an event like this cruise, it keeps it cohesive and the story flowing. Okay, so I'll add that extra tab with some more journaling and finish off with some more of these pentagons. Just scattering them all around. And then I'll bring the layouts a little closer to the camera. So I'll have still pictures of these layouts over on my socials. You'll find the links to my Instagram and Facebook pages in the description below. I'll make a list of all the supplies that I've used in the description with links. And you can still get the Nature Walk collection that's still available. So make sure to put a link for that if you'd like to purchase that. I'd sure appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And then you can find all of my videos, and I'll have a playlist of all of my Alaska cruise layouts so you can see them all in order. And thanks for watching.